The end. I took a deep breath. It's easy to lie to him. But he's been honest with me so far, so I feel like I owe him. Yes, I did that a few times. Honestly, I'm going to a party at Haley's house tonight and I was planning on having sex there. Wyatt lifted his head off of my shoulder and looked over my body. He didn't look shocked or appalled at me. Instead, he smiled kindly. Is that why you look so pretty tonight? This time it was my turn to blush. Did he really just call me pretty? Yes. I was wondering if you had noticed that I looked different tonight. Wow, Wyatt said, once again awkwardly shifting the pillow on his lap. Those boys are so lucky that they are able to have sex with someone as beautiful as you, Katie. Every part of my rational brain was screaming at me to leave. But I was still so horny from touching myself earlier, and hearing Wyatt refer to me as beautiful caused me to begin to lose control of my rational brain. Do you think I'm beautiful? I asked Wyatt. Yes. You always look amazing. You don't need to wear clothes like that to prove it. Wyatt said, once again staring over my body. Overcome by emotions towards Wyatt, I lean in and gently kiss his forehead. Wyatt gasps as I kiss him softly but doesn't fight it. What are you doing? Wyatt asks me as I continue to kiss him on his forehead. I finally break away and look into his eyes. He looks different to me now. All I see is a handsome boy that I desperately want. My brain fights to regain control, but I cannot stop myself from being overcome with lust for Wyatt. I lean in and this time kiss him softly on the lips. Wyatt freezes and doesn't know what to do. After a couple of seconds, he begins to kiss me back. I wrap my arms around him and pull him closer as our kiss becomes more passionate and intimate. Wyatt's body seems to jolt as he breaks our kiss and looks at me with a panicked expression. We can't do this, he says, breathing heavily. I've been looking for a guy who wants to love me and not just use me for sex for a long time. Please, Wyatt, can you teach me how to make a girl feel truly comfortable and loved so you'll be ready when you find a girl you really love? I said, looking at his sexy young body. You mean, like teach me? And, do it together? Wyatt said in shock at what he heard me say. I put my hand on the pillow that Wyatt had on his lap. He panted a bit and looked at me with a red face. Probably thought you would like that, Katie. If you want, of course. I really want to teach you how to make a girl feel good, I said before crouching down and crawling past him. I wrapped my arms around him and pulled him tightly to me and started again. This time Wyatt eagerly kissed me back with much more confidence. His lack of experience was evident, but his passion and love made up for it in my book as we kissed. I felt Wyatt's hand reach between us and start to gently stroke. He paused and then stopped as if waiting for my permission to continue. I hoped that would encourage him to continue. Sure enough, Wyatt continued to explore through my shirt, but he couldn't make much progress while I was still clothed. I sat up, pressing into the pillow Wyatt had placed on my lap, and was gentle. But judging by Wyatt's tone, it had the effect I wanted on him. I started to get bolder as Wyatt stared at me with eyes almost bulging out of his face, refusing to blink because he didn't want to miss anything. Soon it was leaving a lot of room for imagination. Oh my God, Katie, you're amazing, was all Wyatt could say as his virgin eyes stared into mine. I reached behind me and unlocked it and held it teasingly to myself. The only thing keeping Wyatt from seeing was where I was holding it to me. Wyatt looked at me almost drooling with anticipation. I had finally put my sworn brother out of his misery. Wow, Katie, you're perfect, Wyatt said and looked at me in shock. Can you? I didn't let Wyatt finish as I took his warm hands and pressed them to mine. Of course you can, baby, I said and smiled at him. Wyatt sat up and gently placed me on the couch while still holding me. He used his thumbs to gently play and tease. Wyatt gently leaned down and started. His warm breath on my neck sent shivers down my spine. I couldn't believe that my brother made me feel better than any boy had ever done. He looked at me as if he was looking for confirmation or permission. All I could do was nod. It seemed like that was what he was looking for as he gave me a blissful smile. His gentle kisses and warm breaths continued to drive my young body crazy. How could this guy never been with a girl before? I wished that everything I was with was as gentle and loving as Wyatt. Wyatt seemed content to just spend the evening with his face pressed against mine, but I wanted more. I needed more. I thought it was unfair to let Wyatt do all the feeling. He deserved to feel what he was doing to me right now. I had to see for myself what his body looked like. I slowly pulled him off of me. He looked at me with disappointment at being separated. But immediately a youthful smile of excitement quickly filled his face at the thought of what could happen next. Did I do it right? Wyatt asked me between heavy breaths as I placed my hands on him. Let me respond, was all I said as I looked over his sexy body. I started and took my time exploring. Wyatt just leaned back and closed his eyes, enjoying all the new feelings I was giving him. Who knew my brother had such a big secret? Wyatt exclaimed and chuckled. Thank you. His young body tasted delicious, but that was just an appetizer for what I was about to taste. All I could hear was my heart echoing in my head. But I didn't want to rush. I wanted to savor the taste of this boy and enjoy every moment. Finally, oh my God, don't stop, Wyatt screamed. Wyatt's body started to shake as his cries echoed throughout the empty house. Wyatt smiled brightly. That was amazing, Katie. Can I make you feel as good as you did to me? That took me by surprise. Most guys would have walked away, but as I knew Wyatt was different. Wyatt's excitement was uncontrollable when he was with me. You're beautiful. That was all Wyatt could say as he stared at me. For a few seconds I lay there with my eyes closed. Was Wyatt scared? Was he just done? But all my doubts were instantly dispelled when I felt his breath right next to me. He paused as if to double check and make sure he was doing it right. Soon his lips responded again, this time with more confidence and more emotion as he tasted it. Wyatt, don't stop. Oh my God, I've never felt this good. Wyatt took that as encouragement and ate me faster. Crazy. Don't stop, baby. I screamed as I felt the most amazing feeling I've ever felt. That was great. Did you like it? He said in a voice that was actually worried that he might have messed up. You made me feel so good. Thank you, I said and smiled at him. Wyatt looked up and his face broke into a bright smile of joy because he made me feel so good. Thanks, Wyatt, I said as we were close together. Wyatt chuckled and looked at me. Thanks for showing me how to make a girl feel really good. I would love another lesson maybe tonight. Wyatt said. I would love that, I said and pulled him into my arms. I wanted to enjoy this moment. There was no need to rush. I was content to spend the night like this, and right now there was no place I would rather be than in Wyatt's loving arms.